This is SBC News. Good evening to you. Governments and Air Seychelles have reached an agreement with the creditors or bondholders for the payment of the $76 million debt that the national airline had with the bondholders, the Minister for Transport, Anthony Dejac, announced today. This represents a further reduction in the debt of Air Seychelles, and it forms part of the rescue plan to save the national airline. The bondholders had brought Air Seychelles to court last year regarding the payment of the debt.
They've agreed to remove 66.66% as a haircut to the original debt of 76 million euro. Thereby, we have saved Air Seychelles $50 million more. In September last year, with Etihad, we negotiated a reduction of $50 million and now another $50 million. So I'm very happy that we have saved over $100 million for Air Seychelles.
The number of active COVID-19 cases in the country stands at 3,599. Ministry of Health figures show that 2,951 active cases are on Mahé, 453 on Pralin, 145 on La Digue, and 50 on other islands. The 7-day rolling average is 294. COVID-19 related deaths now stand at 149, and more deaths have occurred in the age group 71 to 80 years. The Ministry of Health says a downward trend in daily number of cases that started 2 weeks ago continues. It adds that in order to maintain a downward trend in cases, members of the public are reminded to respect isolation and quarantine instructions and protocols to help prevent further spread, and everyone eligible is urged to get vaccinated. The Department of Foreign Affairs today held its first press conference with the local media. Questions that were raised during the meeting with the press concerned, among other things, the case of the disappearance of the $50 million offered by the United Arab Emirates. Foreign Minister Sylvestre Radegonde says that the UAE is closely monitoring the situation. Minister Radegonde also said that currently 7 Seychellois are in detention abroad for certain offences. He also spoke about the reorganization of Seychelles embassies and consulates abroad. The LDS has announced that it will not be participating in the political party programs this year that SBC broadcasts every month. The leader of the LDS, Roger Moncien, made the statement yesterday during a meeting with the SBC leadership. The meeting was attended by representatives of 4 political parties which have been registered with the Electoral Commission, namely the LDS, United Seychelles, One Seychelles, and l'Union Changement. Mr. Moncien said the LDS felt that the program was not highlighting the relevant national issues as it should be doing. The program started in May last year and was an initiative to promote the development of democracy and political tolerance in the country.
It's been 7 months since we started, and we found it appropriate at this time that we go to the drawing board and discuss review 2021, and at the same time chart the way forward for 2022. The meeting was attended by all the parties who have been contributing towards this initiative, and based on their feedback, on our own feedback, as well as feedback that we've received from the recent audience survey, we have charted a way forward, but we will need to discuss further internally before we restart the initiative soon for this year.
Will the absence of LDS affect the program?
If the LDS does not reconsider their decision, we will have 3 parties. But the objectives and the raison d'etre of the program remains with 2 or 3 or 4. We would like all parties to participate in the initiative.
Rain, which is being accompanied sometimes by strong winds that we are now experiencing, is expected to continue for the next few days. This is due to the tropical storm Batsirai affecting the Indian Ocean now. Meteorologist Egbert Katz says this kind of weather will continue until Saturday. He explained that since yesterday, the meteorological services sent a yellow alert and expects that this type of weather is expected to continue tomorrow and Saturday. The alert level was raised last night to become an orange alert. President Wavell Ramkalawan has appointed Ms. Myrna Hulantin as the new Principal Secretary for Educational Services. Ms. Hulantin started her career in 2011 at the Beauvallon Secondary School as a French teacher. She has a Bachelor of Arts in French from the University of Seychelles, and she holds a master's degree in Administration in Education from the University of Montreal in Canada, where she was awarded the Maîtrise Mention Très Bien, Prix d'Excellence. Prior to this appointment, she was Principal Education Officer in the Principal Secretary's Secretariat at the Ministry of Education. Ms. Hulantin's appointment will take effect from the 1st of February. Research on Pralin's Soglossus seychellensis, a frog endemic to Seychelles, shows that it has the ability to adapt to climate change. This is another proof that animals have the ability to adapt to warmer temperatures, even those which are very sensitive to changes in temperature.
The Soglossus seychellensis is found on Mahé, Silhouette, and Pralin Island. But what makes those on Pralin stand out is their ability to withstand a less humid temperature and their change in behavior in the process. Since 2011, Dr. Jim Labisco, a lecturer at the University College London, and Dr. Nancy Bunbury, a scientist with the Seychelles Island Foundation, have been studying the behavior of the Soglossus seychellensis. Dr. Labisco says it is surprising to observe this adaptation from such a tiny amphibian.
It's just the right size and has just the right sort of behavior to be able to persist. So we think that it's possible that previously other zygossid frogs were on Pralin, but they became extinct. They died out.
Dr. Labisco adds that the result of his research indicates that other animals have the ability to be resilient against climate change.
There's the possibility that this sort of adaptation has happened in other organisms as well, but we haven't detected it. We haven't seen it. So globally, there could be a variety of other species, amphibians, reptiles, birds, mammals, fish, that have meant that they have adapted to certain conditions, but we're not seeing it because we haven't looked for it. And finding out more about that is going to help us in combating climate change and mitigating the effects of climate change.
His published report, however, points out that the rapidly warming temperatures still pose a huge threat to the Soglossus seychellensis.
And that's it for now. I'll be back with all the day's news in Creole in just under an hour's time.